As a chef and a nutritionist, I often get asked, why do you think our nation is so sick? My answer, what do we do every day? We eat food. I live with illness and have used food to help me get well and feel better. My goal here is to teach you to do the same. Eating healthfully can be simple, delicious, and nutritious. So chew on this. Hi, I'm Stefanie Sacks. Welcome to a new episode of Chew on This. Our topic today is food addiction. And with me, I have someone I've known for 20 years, a very good friend. He's 15 years older than me, and I say that for a special reason. Welcome, Steve Haweeli.
Hi, Steph. How are you?
Hi. Good to see you, and
thanks for having me on the
being
show.
here. So Steve has a local PR firm, WordHampton, and we met 20 years ago.
Right.
When I had a small marketing PR shop out here, and you had WordHampton.
Correct.
And you focus on restaurants.
Restaurants, lifestyle, real estate, a couple of nonprofits. We cover from Manhattan to Montauk, a little bit in Connecticut. We've grown.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing.
So we've been friends a long time, and we also went to the same college.
That's correct.
You graduated 15 years before me.
Oh, so I paved the way.
You paved the way. And we're here to talk about food addiction because you've been in recovery for 25 years, right?
Correct.
Right.
I'm addicted to everything. Liquor, drugs, sex, Fritos, Islanders, Yankees, Oreos.
Rangers.
Not Rangers.
Rangers?
Not Rangers.
Oh.
Not Rangers.
Okay.
So as an addict, I want more. That's my answer to everything. I want more.
Right.
And so sometimes that works well when it's really good food, but when it's really bad food, it's bad. So.
Right. And a lot of times what I see is, because I do a lot of work with addicts or people who have been in recovery for years, and the addictions have transferred to food.
Right.
And I do a lot of work with that because what we need to look at is behavior modification. And I know that you have sort of a system that you work with. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, my system of overall general health involves exercise, a spiritual life, having good friends, and eating right, which is a little bit of a challenge because I eat at a lot of restaurants.
Right.
And we're in an office where sometimes there's bags of what we call dayboat Twizzlers. You know, a fresh Twizzler. You can't beat a fresh
Why do you keep Twizzlers in the office?
Because
I'm your friend,
listen, but there's other people in the office, so
Right.
it's up to me to take care of my own body. And so there's plenty of times.
Can I give you guys healthier candy for your office?
We would take that on advisement.
I'd love to
We
do
have
that.
a vegan, we have a vegetarian, we have people who we're generally pretty healthy,
Right.
But we're also human, and so if we get at Christmas time, sometimes for holidays, we might get bags of chocolate, and then of course Nicole will bring in all the Halloween or Easter eggs. So there's little chocolate things, and sometimes you just can't help it. You reach for the jelly beans. Or
No, I mean, that's totally normal.
Yeah, it is.
That's totally normal. I mean, my kids eat regular candy once in a while, too.
But once a year?
No.
Once a year, noon on August 8th?
No, August 8th.
Anyway.
No, my kids get to eat candy once in a while, regular candy, junky candy, but it's a once in a while treat. So, but what I love to do is bring in healthier alternatives. So if I can give you guys, I mean, listen, sugar's addicting. So it's something that you need to stay away from a bit.
If
right?
we're all smart, we listen to Stefanie and do, let's say, 80% of what she recommends because
Right.
You actually do know what you're talking about. And I'm delighted to be in the show.
Thank you.
So what are we going to do today? What's
Well, I want
how are
to
you going to make me
you...
healthy? Make me healthy.
Well, you know what? You are pretty healthy. What I want to do really is focus on food addiction and what kind of tools can we use to sort of help frame a healthier addiction to food, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So I know you're addicted to Fritos.
Love Fritos.
Right.
About 9:30, I like, if it's a good night, it's one handful of Fritos.
Right.
But sometimes it gets into 3 handfuls of Fritos, and that's not. Then you got to wash your hands and your face. You know, it's
But the thing about Fritos is you can actually buy an organic brand of Fritos.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, this is why, and I'll tell you why. That's a very good question. most of our corn is genetically modified, and we don't know the long-term effects of genetic modification. And a lot of people will say to me, you know, well, GMOs, that's not that bad. You know, what is it doing to our health? And my answer is that we are in a health crisis right now, and we eat food every day. So whatever's going on with our food has to be affecting us somehow. And so if you can avoid some of the main things like corn and soy and beet sugar, which is another one, these products are genetically modified potatoes. So if I can give you organic Fritos to have once in a while, because it's not necessarily about removing the food addiction or the food that you love 100%. It's about having it in moderation. Don't keep it in your house. Do you keep Fritos in your house?
Oh, yes. One must.
You do keep them in your... What if you didn't? What if you took them out of your house?
Then I wouldn't have any Fritos at 9:30. That would defeat the purpose of pleasure.
Well, why don't we try to shift that now?
You might not want me on the show. You know, you might not want me on the show.
I do, because I love you.
All right, thank you. I may hate you at the end of the show. Look at this knife. No.
No, if you had something else.
I will listen. Yes.
If you had something else to transfer to, because now I can promise you every time
peanut
you
butter.
go for your Fritos,
peanut butter.
so that's not bad.
Peanut butter. You are pro peanut butter?
Well, I'm pro peanut butter. I'd like it to be an organic.
You're sure?
Well, and this is why. I'd like it to be an organic peanut butter because peanuts actually are highly sprayed. They have a lot of pesticide and herbicide residues. And there's also a mold. You ideally want Valencia peanuts because they're actually grown in more arid environments. And peanuts technically thrive in humid environments, which produce a mold. That's why the peanut allergies. So
I might not listen to you, but you guys should listen to Stefanie because I eat pretty healthy, but I am weak.
But
so I'll listen.
But you know what will happen? At least you're going to hear my voice now every time you grab for the Fritos.
God help me.
So this is what we're doing. Because you like crunchy,
yep.
I decided that we would make some kale chips.
Okay.
Okay? Very simple, very easy. I wanted to just show you.
Can I make these at home, you think?
You can make these at home. You can also buy them, okay? But they're very expensive. These are almost $9, okay? And this is not even a full head of kale.
Provisions?
Yep.
Okay.
I got this at Provisions.
Great
Provisions in Sag Harbor is awesome. They have given me all of this food to cook with you, and they're sponsoring the show. And I love these kale chips. These are a once-in-a-while treat because they're so expensive. But you can buy kale chips. Pretty good. A little cheesy, right?
I think I'd even like them without the cheese.
Right.
But that's what you're going to make today, right?
Right. So I'm just showing you a very cost-effective, simple way to make them.
I could do those at 9:30.
You could, right?
After some Fritos. But.
After some Fritos. So we have some kale. Okay, this is actually quite beautiful. It's local, from Provisions, but locally grown, and you've got the purple kale mixed in with the green.
Okay.
Look how gorgeous that is.
Beautiful.
Right? I mean, you're a foodie.
I am.
So it goes with my shirt.
It does.
So kale is very simple. All you're doing is picking.
Okay.
So you're going to pick some kale. Okay? And when you do the kale chips, the trick to doing them is putting the oven at a low temperature. So I put the oven at 300, and you want to do one even layer of kale on each pan. And it takes about 15 minutes to cook the kale chips. So we'll just keep doing that. I mean, it's kind of cathartic, right?
It feels good. Yep.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah, it does feel good.
You know, you can
I'm feeling healthy already.
You can also chop it, but I tend to like the effect of ripping. And you don't have small children anymore, so it's not a project you can give them, but it's a project that I give my kids. You can keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. I know you know how to move faster, too. Come on.
You
were a bartender for many
chef.
years,
yes,
right?
I was. Yes, I was.
You know, and you spent a lot of time around chefs. And
Give me the bottle.
Perfect.
Like
That's good.
Right.
Toss it around. That's enough. Pretty good. Okay. Let's get a little salt. Toss a little salt on, and then zhug it with your hands. It's a little too. That's a restaurant-happy handful of salt.
You mean like this?
No, you get your hands dirty. Get your hands dirty.
Oh, that feels so good.
When you cook, it's so cathartic to get your hands in the food. People are so scared to touch food.
The thing about it, I like to touch food. It's just that now my hands are all oily.
Oh, so
oily on the set.
You're like a. Oh, I shouldn't even say this.
You
You're like a
say
girl.
that. No. It's just that in reality, Thank you very much. It's
There
nice
you go,
to be
darling.
working with a great chef.
Okay. Look how gorgeous that is.
No pepper, just salt?
You can put pepper. I mean,
Okay.
I just do salt.
What kind of salt do you like to use?
You know what? I just use kosher salt.
Morton's kosher.
I do simple
Man,
kosher
I
salt.
love kosher salt. There's a cooking tip for you. Use kosher salt instead of the table salt.
The table salt.
Take
Yep.
a bit of table salt and a bit of Morton's, we can say that, Morton's kosher salt. Taste the two. You'll taste iodine in
Yep,
the table salt.
absolutely.
This stuff is what professional chefs
Yep.
use, and it
always
brings out much better flavor in your food.
Much better flavor.
As we will soon see.
It is. I mean, I love it. It's much lighter than table salt. Also, you know, you can play with the other salts, like a Himalayan salt,
Right.
but very basic, inexpensive kosher salt.
Do we
you
make
wanna put that-
enough? Okay.
Well, we're going to make another tray.
Okay.
Okay.
Middle.
You can. Yep. Good. No, turn it sideways. Thank you.
Oh boy. Some chefs a little difficult in the kitchen.
Nobody likes to get in the kitchen with me.
I can see that.
No, that's not true. Do you want to pick some more?
Sure.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Really? That's okay.
Okay.
I like a hard time from you.
I know you do. This is such beautiful kale, right?
It is beautiful. And I'm probably gonna like these chips because I don't think I like I don't like kale and salads. It's too leathery. It's too thick.
But if you cut it, so if you cut kale, I'm going to show you, because I do a lot of stuff with raw kale, is if you cut it really, really thin, just like that, okay? You know, and you toss it in a salad, just with some lemon and olive oil.
Because kale's really good for you, isn't it?
It is so good for you.
So why is kale so good? Is it high
So,
in antioxidant or? 'Cause I'm
very rich in
I love
antioxidants, I know.
I am pro antioxidants.
Right.
A little,
I like that. Well, kale
You could use that.
is a cruciferous vegetable, right? And it's extremely anti-cancer.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, it's just loaded with nutrients, and it's a dark leafy green.
Did you know that 25% of deaths in the United States are from cancer? I learned that. I just did some
Yeah.
work with the American Cancer Society.
Yeah.
That's a bad stat.
Well, it's a really bad stat, and again, it always goes back to what are we putting in our mouths every day?
Right,
We're
yeah.
putting food in our mouths,
These
and
Fritos
so
have to go.
you know we don't really know, you know. So again, if you like chop it really, really thin.
Do you do any spiritual work? Like if you're going to say goodbye to Fritos, do you have like a funeral? Do you write goodbye notes? What if you really had a bad addiction to Fritos?
I mean, if
Go to
if
Fritos
I-
Anonymous?
well,
What do you do?
Listen, I am so big on rituals, and I think food is extremely ritualistic in general. And we all have our own. I'll admit it. I have an addiction to potato chips.
Well, I was going to say. So
What am I addicted
right,
to?
What Miss Haweeli? What's your favorite brand? Are you? And let me hope that it's something like Lay's or Ruffles or is it Cape Cod? What brand?
No. So there's a brand. Well, there's a particular brand called Seasons. I don't know. I had them when I was a kid. Not when I was a kid. When I was around 15 or so, I found them in a health food store, and they're really good. I mean, they're just very thin. Ideally, I like to do organic potato chips because I don't trust potatoes, but it doesn't always happen that way. And I mean, it's a joke between me and my husband because what I'll do is, like, I'll eat my dinner, the kids will go to bed, and then late at night I take like one sheet of what's it called, paper towel, and I put a little handful of potato chips on, and I go and I lie in bed and I read my book or
So you like
watch my movie.
But let me ask you this: is there something to be said for craving salt at 9:30? Because that's what we're really talking about.
Well,
here.
you know, it's interesting because I've always wondered about this potato addiction for me, this potato chip thing.
Salt.
And I have a kidney disease, and I lose potassium, and potatoes are very rich in potassium. And I have a very low blood pressure too, and so I crave the salt and the potassium.
Do Fritos have potassium?
No,
How do you know?
because corn is not rich in potassium. And by the time it's in that state, because those Fritos are not. That's like.
So I
That's
should
like
switch. If I
cornmeal.
switch to potato chips, I'd at
But I mean,
least be getting
no.
some
Why
potassium.
don't we
I'll
try
just
the
do the
kale
work here.
chips, and we're gonna make a curried white bean dip for you too.
Top or bottom?
The bottom is okay. And the oven is on convection, which is a more even way to cook. A lot of ovens these days have convection baking, so that's a good thing. Is to go for convention. Oh, you are so neat. Look
I'm just
at you.
trying to
Okay, so I'm
demonstrate
gonna clean up our kale a bit. I'll put it back over here. We've got a beautiful bunch of cilantro.
If you clean the kitchen, you get invited back.
You know what? I have a friend who all he does is clean when he comes over.
You're happy to have them.
Happy to have them all the time.
Right.
Okay, so this here, so for you, you know, what I'm thinking with these Fritos is crunchy. Like my mind goes to crunchy. Okay, granted, you like the flavor of the Fritos. That's why we're doing a kale chip.
The texture, you can suck the salt right out of a
And you
good
can,
Frito.
which you'll see with the kale. It's very interesting, the flavor on that. But also the crunch, I want it to be a little more health supportive here.
Okay.
Okay. Is a curried white bean dip. I know you like Indian food.
I do.
Right? So we have some just cannellini beans.
Great.
Okay.
Right out of a can?
Right out of a can.
Okay.
You know, most people say to
cannellini.
me, why don't you teach people how to
Grow cannellini beans. Harvest them. Wash them.
How to
soak them.
how to soak them and cook them. And I work with people day in and day out who literally have never eaten beans. So if I can just get people to have a can of beans, I've you know, made some progress.
Progresso, or is this the Provisions
I
private
opt
stock?
out of this brand is Eden brand.
Okay, yes, I'm familiar.
I
Good
opt
brand.
out of some of the more mainstream brands because oftentimes they have a preservative in them called disodium EDTA. And I just like to stay clear of all of the chemicalized ingredients that go in food.
Why aren't we using organic olive oil then?
Because I am not a stickler for organic. That's a great question.
Which I was going to ask before, which is how do you really know
Right.
that things are organic? But maybe that's for another show, but you tell me.
No, I can answer that question
Okay.
just fine. So right now, in terms of organic, we have to trust, you know, the different regulatory agencies like the USDA and, you know, there are some private agencies that regulate the organic in the food. But in terms of your own personal choice, what I like to do is focus on the Dirty Dozen, the Environmental Working Group, which is ewg.org. You can download an app called the Dirty Dozen. And there you can see the top 12 fruits and vegetables that retain the most herbicide and pesticide residues. And so I like to use that as my navigation tool because it's not affordable to always buy organic. And olives don't necessarily need to be organic because of...
Do you have a website that people can access this information? Because that's pretty valuable. You've done a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
But is it on your website?
Everything that we're talking
I should have checked,
about...
but I didn't.
Yeah, you're such a great PR guy.
Busy.
Everything that we're...
Clock's ticking.
Everything that we're talking about is going to be on my website, stephaniesacks.com. There's a downloadable toolkit for each show.
Okay.
And also we have the recipes. So let's jump to this here.
Okay.
Because I know that we're going to be running out of time.
Cilantro I love, so
I
that's good news.
know.
I could just sit here and eat that stuff.
I'm growing some beautiful cilantro at home.
Can you salt this and bake that?
No, it's, you know what? It's it's much too delicate to do that.
I love cilantro.
So what you're going to do while I'm checking on the kale? Have you ever used a lime press before?
No.
You haven't?
No, I just hand squeeze them.
You can hand squeeze
Old-fashioned
them?
way. I'm from old world.
No, and I'm from old world too.
Yeah,
I have very few kitchen gadgets, but
thing looks
this
awesome.
I love.
Oh, yeah.
So squeeze some limes in there, and I'm going to just
How
check
many?
on, do the...
Boy, this is a handy
limes there.
tool. May have to get one of these from limesqueezer.com.
Isn't that great? And there's also a lemon. You can also get a combo.
What do you think, limepress.com?
No.
Where do we get these?
I got that actually at King Cullen. I got it at King Cullen.
It's on my way home.
It's on your way home.
That thing is awesome. Can you do, no, just limes.
Just
I'll be buying more limes now.
right, but you can get a combination lemon-lime press, or you can get a lemon and a lime press.
You know what, I'm an idiot because this is really a great tool.
Isn't that a great tool?
Thank you, Miss Sacks.
Okay, and you smash your garlic. You know how to do that, right?
Yeah, you know,
Or do you
I'm,
peel?
I
I'm
peel.
curious.
I'm a peeler.
No, you do not.
I do.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I do.
And you, wait, you're a restaurant PR guy?
Old school. I'm a PR guy. I didn't say I was a restaurant chef.
Yeah, but Steve, you just sit and peel like this?
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah, I
What
do.
did they teach you at Hamilton?
Not how to press garlic, apparently. I don't think
You go
they
like
taught
this.
you. Okay.
No, I don't know. I can't remember
You
what I
know,
learned
people
at Hamilton.
think, by the way, that I'm this great gourmand, and
Well,
I'm
now
not.
they'll know that you're
no,
not.
they know I'm not. And I'm very basic.
That's fine. Basic is good.
That I make.
Let's see, you put some olive oil in there.
How much do you need?
And again, the recipes are on my site at stephaniesacks.com, so you can
What does this
see.
recipe call for?
This calls for, I think, 2 tablespoons. See, the problem is I actually don't like writing recipes. I create all these recipes,
That's
and then
about
I
a
have to
tablespoon
sit
and
down.
3/4 for you watching at home.
Perfect, thank you. And we may need to add more. But in writing recipes, it's a challenge for me because it's such a creative process. So whenever I teach people, I tell them not to look at the recipes I've given them and to just feel the food, taste the food, touch the food, and experience it. We're making this very garlicky, right?
Well, I'll just put a little bit, and I actually just wanted to try.
Oh, good
try and do it, so I
job.
did it.
Okay, and let's throw
Wasn't
some
so
curry in
hard.
there. Okay. Okay, and put like
Teaspoon.
a teaspoon. Okay, and I always
I
say
like the way she measures, by the way. That's the way I measure.
we have a messy area here, which I don't normally like to have.
That's good.
But I always say you can salt everything at the end. Don't ever put too much in at the beginning because you can never take away.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll put a little in here. And then we'll shave our cilantro. I'm going to teach you another little skill here. You ever shave your herbs?
No.
Okay, so when I used to cook at Naturally Good in Montauk, when I was 15, I always had the job of picking the cilantro. So I would sit there and I would pick like one leaf after another, and it would take a really long time. And I ended up despising cilantro. So here, this is what you do, is you shave.
Huh.
It's like giving it a haircut, right?
I wouldn't know about haircuts, but
I do.
Didn't you want to get the? Never mind.
Okay, throw that in there.
Huh.
And then Cuisinart is just one of the most basic tools, I think.
Yep.
And I think if anyone's going to invest in anything, they should invest in this.
Pulse.
Nope,
Oh,
put it on and let it go. Looks pretty good. And we get to taste it.
Yum.
And sometimes, you know, it depends how much curry you like. Like my husband, he doesn't like curry, but he'll eat this dip because he has no idea there's curry in there, you know?
Now he knows.
Now he
Does your
knows.
husband watch the show?
Because my husband is shooting the show, actually.
Well, now you know. We put a teaspoon, Rich, of curry in here, so there's no need for you to try it.
Actually, my husband, who has never, ever run cameras, he shoots this entire show, which is so much fun because we're doing it together. And we shoot live to tape, so there's no editing except when we go on location. So what you see is what you get,
Right,
which is
that's
kind
good.
of the way I am, right?
Yes, we know that. Can you hit off? Good.
Okay. You want to taste?
Sure. That's really good.
I would add more salt. What do you think?
Let's just. I am a salt guy, but
I would add more salt and curry.
yeah. I mean, it's really good. Because I don't mind lime, and you get a nice little lime shot there.
right?
It's a great lime shot.
Okay.
But I see what you're saying.
I need to do my little touch here.
Do your thing.
Because
It's your show. My show, I might leave it.
But either way, you're going to eat it.
Oh, yes. What
Okay. What are you doing?
Stay out of the kitchen.
There you go. Okay.
I am pro salt, by the way.
Okay, so now I have kind of a little surprise for you. Let me bring my bowl over here.
That's really good.
Is it good?
Oh, yeah.
So I have some Frito alternatives.
Oh!
Okay. These are
See my
some.
face light up?
See, these are rice chips, which I love. Sesame seaweed rice chips, and we got these at Provisions.
Oh, these are good. Wow.
Are those incredible?
Whoa.
So taste them. That's kind of a staple in our house.
See, here's the problem, though. I would do this whole bag. I would do easily a half bag of these rice chips, folks, from Provisions. These are
Right.
sick.
Those,
wow.
Aren't those amazing? Yeah.
I wonder what the price ratio is, but who cares?
You can see here, these are black bean chips, and it says made with organic yellow corn. So although not every ingredient in here is organic,
Wow.
it's made with organic corn, which is what we really want to look at. So I'd rather you have these
All right.
than the Fritos.
So, what about the rice chips?
The rice chips you can have too. I'm
I
going to
am
grab the
pro
kale
rice
out.
chips right now,
We're
I'm
going to
telling you
taste
that
the
right
kale too. Okay.
These are good.
And then we've got Mary's Gone crackers.
So, Oh, I love these.
Yeah, these are
really
great,
good.
right? I love these too.
How bad, now you're starting to convert me, how bad are Fritos?
You know what? It's not about how bad Fritos are, per se.
Oh, sorry.
Like I say to my kids, don't ask me if you don't want to hear the answer. So it's not necessarily about how bad they are. It's about moderation. And again, what we want to look at when you're addicted to food is that it's behavior modification. So if I can say to you, hey, Steve, you know what? The Fritos just, have them once in a while, but use these instead. At least we know that the ingredients are a bit healthier. Try not to keep the addicted food in your home. That's the thing that's also, a challenge. Like some people, I work with a lot of people who say, I can't eat cookies. I can't keep cookies in my home because they eat the entire box of cookies. And then don't abstain 100%. You can't. Because if you abstain, you're going to fall off the wagon. You need to treat yourself once in a while.
I would buy a case of these.
I know, they're amazing, right? They're so unbelievable.
And
so
not
I want
worry
to.
about Fritos for quite some time.
So here are our kale chips. I made some earlier. Taste these.
It's pretty good.
Those are pretty good, right?
They're a little dainty, but you don't quite get anybody who's having a good Frito. You're looking for the crunch. If you want the crunch, you go for these rice chips. But,
Right.
But these are good.
And we also have
And I shouldn't-
vegetables, too. You could get a crunch from a vegetable if you're so...
Where'd you get these snap peas from?
Oh, my God. I got those. I saw them this morning at Provisions. They're unbelievable, aren't they?
These are really good.
I'm telling you.
It's like sugar.
It is. Let's stick that in here. You've double dipped, you've quadruple dipped.
We're friends.
Exactly, right? So, the kale chips are,
See,
really yummy.
if the Yankees
Not
are
something
winning,
you dip in here. What?
Yankees are winning. If they're losing, I'm going for the Fritos. If they're winning, you break out some of this cannellini
You know what?
white bean dip
You'll call me.
and these
One day.
rice chips.
This is the deal. If the Islanders beat the Rangers next season,
I mean, when they beat them?
no, if they beat them, okay, then you're going to give up Fritos.
That doesn't make any sense.
If the Islanders beat the Rangers,
Oh, okay.
then you're going to give up Fritos.
For beat them what, like one game or
No, if
the
they have a
season-
better, if
season
they have a
series?
season series better than the Rangers.
I will take that bet. I will do that.
You will?
Because I honor my bets.
So do I need to have a conversation with Brad Richards?
Like you know him.
My friend does.
Everybody knows somebody, right?
Yeah, everybody knows somebody.
These are good, though. I would have these more. These are good.
Oh my. So
But-
there's no but. No, there's a but. What's the but?
I can't see these. If you're talking about counseling me for that 9:30 to replace Fritos, you can't do
No,
it.
not necessarily, but look at this. I mean, I'm not looking to have 100% success with you with everything that I do, but I'm opening up your eyes, and every time you grab for Fritos, you're going to think about me. It's just, it's not dissimilar to what Mayor Bloomberg did in, with the soda ban in New York. Anybody
It's
who
a
orders
bold
a
move.
soda is going to think twice when they order a soda about what they're drinking. I'm in full support of that. And
These are
those-
good with peanut butter.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge peanut butter.
I know
The
you
other
are.
addiction is peanut butter.
Well, I don't have a problem with that as much. Just try to do what I said. But I have
Organic
to.
peanut butter. We know what that's all about.
Yeah, but you know what? Organic peanut butter isn't that much more expensive. So.
But the taste is like it's just
Oh,
not there.
please don't tell me you're addicted to Peter
Skippy.
Pan and Skippy.
Oh, Skippy.
Oh, for God's sakes. How about just peanuts, salt? Do a company like Arrowhead Mills or Justin's that has a little sweetener. So.
I have the jar. Everybody has this. The jar of organic peanut. Because they don't make it in like a small container. They make it in
Yeah.
this large thing, right?
Oh.
So in my fridge, all the way in the back, is the jar of organic peanut butter separated with the oil. So here's the problem. Here's your challenge. So as a peanut butter lover, all you guys out there love your peanut butter, right? Yes. What you
We're
get
not
to do
envious
is
of peanut
you
butter now.
open the jar, you're going right in, it goes right to the mouth. You're happy. With the organic peanut butter, you got to work. First of all, you got to take it out. Then you need like a jackhammer to stir the stuff up. So there's a challenge for you, because I am not eating the arrowhead. It's sitting in. It's going to get tossed. It's going to get tossed.
Okay. Well, I've got to thank everybody for watching. I have got to thank my sponsors. Thank you for Gloria Jewel. Thank you to Provisions. Thank you, Steve, for being
thanks,
here.
Steph. This has been a lot of fun. You've helped me a lot. Thank you.
And stay tuned for our next episode, Loco for Local Food. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Stefanie Sacks.